Hello there. Now, you've just got to love Donald Trump, haven't you? He's always ready to take the bull by the horns. And right now he's set his sights on the BBC for a $1 billion lawsuit over the way our national broadcaster chose to edit their coverage of the 2021 January the 6th Capitol Hill episode. And given the situation, many would support Trump in this. Here's what the Donald said on his Truth Social site yesterday. The top people in the BBC, including Tim Davie, the boss, are all quitting or getting fired because they were caught doctoring my very good, perfect speech of January the 6th. Thank you to the Telegraph for exposing these corrupt journalists. These are very dishonest people who tried to step on the scales of a presidential election. On top of everything else, they are from a foreign country, one that many consider our number one ally. What a terrible thing for democracy. Yes. Now, Trump's attorney, Alejandro Brito, has sent the BBC a letter demanding a full and fair retraction of their Panorama so-called documentary, as well as an apology, compensation and retraction of any and all other false, defamatory, disparaging, misleading and inflammatory statements about President Trump in as conspicuous a manner as they were originally published, i.e. any retraction must be on the front page if the original, allegedly defamatory article was on the front page. And as this is getting legal, the word allegedly has to appear everywhere, doesn't it? Now, if the Beeb does not fess up and apologise and offer compensation by the 14th of November, that's this Friday, then Trump has already lawyered up to take our beloved national broadcaster to the cleaners. So what do you reckon about all of that, Richard?
Well, first of all, I'd like to prefix everything I say with the word allegedly, just in case I forget to say it. Everything is allegedly, okay? So let's start. I mean, allegedly, the BBC got caught lying, but we know they wouldn't do that. Or would they? I don't know. I mean, allegedly, they spliced, effectively edited this, cut Trump's words to make it look like he was calling for violence. I mean, it was just a bit of a slip in the editorial department. You know, it happens all the time, doesn't it? Yeah. But, I mean, it does seem like a deliberate edit, or am I missing something here, Jeff? To be honest with you, if it is deliberate, and I have to emphasise the word if for legal reasons, then it's the BBC trying to control the narrative around a presidential race, effectively, because this was before the election, wasn't it? You know, so this is the BBC trying to control the narrative around what goes on in a foreign country. And quite interesting that a lot of the BBC types are usually saying about Elon Musk, saying, oh, who's he to get involved in our politics? Well, hello, BBC. Hello. You know, total utter hypocrisy. I mean, you're talking about where they've effectively appeared to have merged two pieces of footage that were taken an hour apart, apparently. You know, how can you call that journalism? How is that bloody, journalism? It's not. It's just clearly propaganda. You'd swear they wanted Biden in or something. Do you know what I mean?
No. Well, let's just put this in context. This was after after Biden had won that election, and it was the inauguration. Yes. But what it did do was give everybody a fantastic lead up into the next election and go, look back then. And that's what it was used as. And they wanted to destroy Trump completely so he could never stand for president again. That's what the idea was, that he wouldn't be president now if they used all this propaganda. Yeah.
It was absolutely hideous what they did. I mean, the propaganda was seeded. I mean, but we've seen this sort of seeding taking place many times, like way in advance of elections. And yeah, it's just you sow the doubt in as soon as possible, really. It was pretty disgusting what happened. You've got two BBC bosses gone. You've got, Tim Davie and what's her face as well have now gone.
Yeah.
But I think back to what the BBC have done in terms of their journalism. It's like you've got Gaza, okay? After October 7th, they wouldn't even call Hamas a terrorist organization. This is the same BBC, and our license fee funds this. That's the toxic part of all this, is that we actually fund it by paying the license fee. And I think it's a bit sad, really, Jeff.
Yeah, it is. Now, as Trump says, he would be left with no alternative if the BBC doesn't comply, but to enforce his legal and equitable rights, all of which are expressly reserved and are not waived, including by filing legal action for no less than $1 billion in damages, and that equates to about £750 million. And then there's the legal expenses, which lots of people ignore. Now, as ever with the BBC, there is one little tiny fly in this ointment. However much you might support Donald Trump in this, he will actually be suing the UK licence fee payer, not anyone at the BBC.
I suppose they would, yeah. Yeah, very true.
And if
very
the BBC runs out of money, then the general UK taxpayer is on the hook for it. And the BBC might elect to use licence fee taxpayers' money to fund their probably extremely expensive defence. After all, it's not their own personal money, is it? And where would Trump decide to prosecute his case? In London or in a US city, maybe? The choice depending on where he could get the most favourable outcome. And wherever he wins, the government, that's our government, will fork out the dosh if he wins based on the rule of law. And that's going to be our money. I have to point that out. It's got to be brutally honest with you. But I would much rather see, if it takes that to force the demise of the BBC, then I've got to think it's probably the first real proper money that has been usefully spent on the BBC. What do you reckon to that?
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care if Donald Trump sues us, effectively the British people and the license fee payer. Who cares? At the end of the day, the BBC has got to be. It needs to be root and branch stripped out, completely stripped out. It's an organisation that has been. I mean, this is the organisation that birthed Jimmy Savile and then allowed him to fester. This is the BBC that allowed Hugh Edwards to do what he did. And, look, you've got people like Rolf Harris was in there as well. And you go, we paid for that. We were told these peoples were paragons of virtue. And it's like, oh, okay. I like people who are not paragons of virtue. I like my heroes to be slightly more obvious. What was that line from Lord of the Rings, where oh, good grief! I think it was you'd expect the enemy to seem foul, or seem fair but feel fair, or something like that, or instead of feeling foul and seeming fair, whichever way it goes. Anyway, but that's basically what I'd rather. I like the dirty angels. I do. The people who are rough on the outside, not these people who pretend, these made-up celebrities, these inconsequential non-entities that we have thrust down our throats day and night. And I just give in. I really, really just give in. You know, I think about the license fee and but the thing is, Jeff, the BBC was something once upon a time. It did have a certain gravitas and a certain level of quality once upon a time. Now, to be honest with you, it's probably had an infestation of these Savile types for a very long time, probably since its inception. I mean, you look at the, what was it, Eric Gill statue that's outside. Should give you an idea of what a lot of what was going on in the BBC right from the start. And therefore, part of me thinks just destroy it. But I've worked in the BBC as well, briefly, and I've seen, and there are some talented people in there, but the overriding majority were just so bloody woke. I didn't fit in. I was like a square peg trying to get into a round hole. It just didn't bloody work whatsoever. Jeff, over to you. I think it's ugh.
Right. Well, yeah, I sort of agree. And the Eric Gill statue thing, it's still there as far as I know. It was trashed, wasn't it? And then rebuilt, or it's being redone. I don't know. It should have been taken down years ago. Now, Tansification, Thank you very much, says British Bull Thingy Corporation at its finest. Of course,
yeah, well, it is.
Yes,
it is
yes,
absolute effing crap. It is. It really is crap. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You watch it. It's like, look, here I go again. I have to do that usual disclaimer that everyone has to do in this day and age. I'm not racist, but okay. And here we go. Well, I'm not racist, but I do enjoy, and I used to enjoy period dramas. Okay, I used to really enjoy them. Now, period dramas, there's something wrong with the casting, and I can't quite put my finger on it. And
no, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, it's not a racist comment. As I keep saying, I want, if you can have equality, then great. I want Lawrence Fox's career resurrected with him playing Gandhi in a remake on the BBC. Yeah. I keep saying it. It's got to happen. We've got to make a campaign for that, Jeff. Lawrence Fox for Gandhi. And they should pay him at least £1 million for that, I think. After the damage they did to his career, in my opinion.
Yes. No, I agree. Yes. And thank you, PC. I don't think the license fee can be justified for much longer. I think this is sort of the death knell of it. And I've been listening all day to people saying, "Oh, it's the youngsters have come in and they've got a different view on things, and the old people can't control them. It's no one's fault really that we're completely trashing an American president and all the rest of it." Yes, it is. It's called accountability and people lying. That's what they're doing. They're lying to the public. And it's got to stop. It's basic. It's just basic. Don't tell me about different worldviews and all the rest of it. They have been making excuses for the BBC over this all morning, and it's got to stop. They've just got to admit that it's absolutely out of control and it must be shut down.
They were determined to destroy Trump for ages. They didn't want him doing a second term no matter what. That's the point. They did not want him. They wanted his reputation ruined as soon as possible. I mean, look, I'm not saying the BBC tried to have him bumped off with that sniper guy who just clipped his ear, but you never know. That's just I'm just nonsense. That is. But when you think about it, the BBC itself, it's like a perfect mirror of the establishment. It's totally arrogant. Okay?
Yeah.
It's woke. It's unelected. And it is utterly morally bankrupt. And this, it's a total edifice of deceit, which is built upon the license fee payers' money. And that's all the BBC is now. It's gone. There's nothing that good that comes out of it. I did enjoy that SAS Rogue Heroes. That wasn't bad. That was a bit of a breath of fresh air, to be honest with you. And I worked on one program as well, which I'm not going to name today. Yeah, I did a little bit on Doctor Who. Well, that was a nightmare experience. Trust me. Oh boy, did I not fit in there. But there was one production which was set in Wales, a comedy, and it was that was really good. It was the cast and the crew were fantastic, but that was a one-off. That was a one-off. That was like, and don't think incidentally. Whoa! Don't think Netflix are any better either. The same crews who I worked on these productions, and the same cameraman, same sound guys, production guys who work for the BBC. They also work on Netflix productions, Channel 4 productions, numerous other independent company productions. It's all the same crew, and it's all a little club. And I was not in it. I was sort of for a little while. I sort of, I was like, no. It was a dark vibe in there. It's bloody demonic, I can tell you. Didn't enjoy it whatsoever.
No, you were telling me a lot about that while you were doing it.
Yeah.
And thank you, Art6279, for your contribution.
Thank you.
Cheers, my brothers. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Yeah, the whole thing about this BBC is that we pay for it, and it's meant to be to service our needs and our wants and all the rest of it. But they've just gone off on their own. And the BBC is actually just another Quango. And they run themselves, basically, like all the other Quangos. They've got no real accountability to government or accountability to anyone. And they will, when they're told by a government, follow the rules on, i.e. the pandemic or anything like that, or on far-right riots. They'll toe the line on all of that. But the rest of it, they just get on and do their own thing. At the moment, because most of the governments have been woke and have let them get on with their own thing up until now, it's sort of worked and they've got away with it. They've got away with it, which is the real truth. And it doesn't matter how much we moaned, They still got away with it. But things are changing now, and they're not going to get away with it anymore. They've got to sort it out. And those two resignations yesterday show you that things are going to change. But they're not going to change immediately, because the first thing that will happen is, who will replace both those people?
Me and you.
More.
No,
Richard.
No, we have to.
More woke people. More woke people will replace them, and it will continue until we smash it.
No, we can fake woke, Jeff. You and I can go in there. Right, okay. You'll change our names. You can be Tarquin, and I can be Cuthbert, okay? And we'll both identify as turnips, right? And we'll go. I reckon we can do it, mate. We can do it. Honestly, if you had Jeff and myself, right, in the comment section now, I want you lot to tell me, do you want Jeff and I to take over the running of the BBC? Do you want that? I want to know in the comment section straight away. And yes. What's coming through? Anything yet? No. Oh, somebody doesn't want us to take over the BBC.
Well, good.
Oh, well. Thank you very much. Oh, there's a few saying yes. Great. Yeah. Great. Well, anyway, we're going to go for it. We're going to try. You see, Jeff and I, we've got some influence, Yeah. Apparently. And we're going to be speaking to the right people, and we're going to see if we can go for the top job. Believe me, we will save this institution. We will do it. We will save the BBC. We will make it better than it's ever been. We will bring down that statue of Nathan Gills, and in its place we'll have a statue of Jeff. Yeah. Over to you, Jeff. Yeah.
Right. Now we got through that, so I've still got a sore throat. I've been running a poll on this. Do you want Donald Trump to smash the BBC? And at the moment, it's 99% to 1%. So who was the 1% out of the 500 plus votes we've had so far?
Whoever voted no, that
go.
they didn't. All the people who said they didn't want us to take over, it's them, definitely. Yeah, but the thing is, Jeff, did you see how many of these sycophants came out supporting the BBC?
Yeah,
I mean, did you get some of those? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll start off here with, just before that, thank you, Ms. Marceau. The botulism boring commies, BBC. ITV will be next upsetting the priest who was on Tommy's stage. Yeah, there's been quite a few priests on Tommy's
Ah,
stage,
Kai.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Kai,
yeah, so
Yeah.
there you go. Right. So let's have a look at one
Hang
of
on.
these people.
Hang on. Whoa,
Oh, right.
whoa. Wait 2 seconds. You know, I was thinking, let's not let ITV get away with this either, or Sky, because they're all as bloody woke as well, incidentally.
Yeah.
The thing is, you've got to look back to years ago. I was thinking about the BBC and ITV and the things they used to produce, like Robin of Sherwood. Oh, one of the greatest series has ever produced, ever, anywhere, ever, period. That, The Box of Delights on BBC. The BBC's version of the Chronicles of Narnia. Superb stuff. Absolutely fantastic. Doctor Who, what Doctor Who used to be. It was world class. Okay, sometimes the special effects were a little bit strange, but conceptually, the scripts and everything, they were fantastic. Amazing. And now look at it. Now, go on.
And when the first Doctor Who came out and the music was played, it was absolutely groundbreaking.
Oh, it was the BBC Radiophonic Workshop. Incredible. Like, I can't remember the lady who. I think it was a lady who came up with a lot of the sound effects of the Doctor Who theme tune.
Possibly.
Yeah, who did that? Yeah. Is it something Derbyshire? I think it was something Derbyshire.
Might be. I can't remember.
Yeah. Sorry. Anyway, Jeff, let's go and have a look at what you're going to show. Come on.
Right. Now, this first person wants us to take on the Donald and fight him over the BBC, because the BBC must always be right. And this person is Mr. Ed Davey, the leader of the Lib Dems. And he says, I've written to Keir Starmer, Kemi Badenoch and Nigel Farage, urging them to condemn Donald Trump's attack on the BBC. The BBC belongs to Britain, not Trump. We must defend it together. Now, I'll tell you something. If the BBC is wrong, they should be held to account. Ed Davey is just telling us it's British, so it must be defended. Which all sounds very good, doesn't it? Until you realise it may be British, but does it support Britain? If not, it should go, shouldn't it? But Ed Davey wants to support it because he doesn't support Britain either, as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah, he's a bit of a... And he sent her a letter, and let's have a look at this letter, shall we, and see what sort of thing he's put in there. President Trump's assault on the BBC is a serious threat to our national interest, and I urge you to join me in standing up against it. How can it be against the national interest for someone to point out to us quite forcefully that we have a Quango in this country that is fighting us tooth and nail, This Quango, this BBC, is on the side of Gaza. It's on the side of lying when it talks to the international community over this international broadcasting stuff that we do. It doesn't tell the truth. That's come out time and time again. So why should it stay? Why should Ed Davey want it to continue to lie? You've got to ask yourself that question. What else did he say? As a public service broadcaster, the BBC has an important, distinctive and vibrant role to play in the UK's cultural and media landscape. Yes, and when it gets fined by Trump and it gets forced to hand over lots of dosh, all we'll see is the usual reruns, isn't it? Yeah. But he also went on to say, did he say anything extra? I can't be bothered, to be honest. Let's see how he finished this particular letter. This is, as he said, to Keir Starmer, to Kemi Badenoch and to Nigel Farage. Can you imagine Ed Davey asking Nigel Farage for help? And he says, will you join me in condemning Donald Trump's attack on the BBC? As political leaders, we have a responsibility to protect one of our nation's most treasured institutions from becoming subservient to Donald Trump and his cronies, especially when their values are so far removed from the values of the British people. No, it's okay, though, for them to be subsumed into the Hamas values, isn't it? The BBC can spout Hamas values till the cows come home.
Oh, yeah,
and that's okay for Ed Davey, isn't it?
that Hamas, not leader. What was he? Member of the Hamas. Member of Hamas's son narrating a documentary, that so-called documentary. I mean, these are all perfectly acceptable values for, for the BBC. Yeah, I'd like to see what Trump's going to do. I really would. I think he should just get on with it and do what needs to be done. Never mind waiting until Friday. Just do it.
Yeah. Well, he's now in stone. Friday is when he's do it. And thank you, Jan Robertson, 8691. This channel grows on me for every show. Thank you very much. Great job, gents.
Thank
you. We
you.
do our best. Yeah, it's although it's just two old guys having a right old go at the world.
Yeah, well, the thing is, we're not polished. Far from it. Half the time we're wrong, and we don't care. But no, this is what it's about. This is about two blokes, and not just us. It's you lot as well, all of us. I mean, this is a coming together. This is a community. This is a pub. We are in the pub right now, and I hope you've got a beer there, whoever you are, whatever you're doing, watching us now. I hope you're having a can or a cup of tea. Don't you? I mean, you can have to drink beer, having a cup of tea, and or smoking whatever you're smoking, drinking whatever you're drinking. I don't care, as long as you are just being yourself and watching this and interacting, because that's what it's about. We stopped interacting. That's where you see, this is where the BBC and the mainstream media fail. They don't meet the people. They're not of the people. They are this alien thing to the people. Whereas Jeff and I, we are true patriots and represent the masses. Indeed we do. All right, maybe not.
And it's quite funny that people, I've got to be honest, people like GB News, they're not perfect, but they do have they do talk to you. You feel that they are talking to you, not at you. Whereas the BBC, for example, as soon as anything comes up, they bring up their BBC Verify and just hit you over the head with it. Wow, this is verified. Bang! Anti-Trump is verified. And they keep beating you over the head with it all. And
yeah, but they've given more... Yeah, they give more misinformation than anybody else. That's the irony of getting them to do that job. I think it's just, all right then.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's not just Ed Davey, is it? It's not just Ed Davey, I'm
afraid.
afraid.
There's a few others. Go on.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at this rogues gallery.
Well, actually, just before I do, I'll bring up this comment here from I Am Frenchy. I truly believe Donald Trump is the only one stopping the world from going into chaos and full dictatorship. I can imagine what the UK government will be doing to the indigenous people. Yeah, he's probably the only break on it all that's happening. Because every time we talk to the government, they just ignore us. If you vote, they ignore it. If you come out with a referendum, they do all they can to ignore it. They'll do everything just to do their own thing. And I'll tell you, Nigel Farage did do a big thing today, another press statement, which was about small business. And I've got to say, I do agree with him on this. I don't agree with him on everything, but I do agree with him on this. It's that small businesses make up half or more of our business. But we ignore them totally because we're following the World Economic Forum agenda of big, huge corporations in partnership with governments. And that is the future, according to the World Economic Forum. That's why we're going to see small businesses taxed out of existence in this coming budget. They're going to do all sorts of things to try and shut down little businesses. So that's why all the these politicians love going down this. I want to partner with big business to run the country. We don't want that. We are a nation of shopkeepers. Anyway, the next one.
I think we should be proud because that was used as an insult against the British. That was a nation of shopkeepers. Yeah. No, I think it's fantastic.
Yes, it was.
We're a nation of shopkeepers and small businesses. I think going on to something else here for a moment, though, Jeff. It was quite strange because Mr. David Icke is back on YouTube now. He's got his account back. Yeah. You bumped into him the other day. Now, there are things which I profoundly disagree with David Icke on, but there are things which I profoundly agree with him on as well. And the one thing, amongst many things that I do agree with him on, is to do with digital IDs. And everything we are witnessing is a controlled collapsed a bit, to be honest with you. And it is. It's a, he was talking about this in his, was it from yesterday or today, one of his videos. I think he talks about the same thing a lot, but then again, so do we. But the thing was, he was talking about the this control collapse and how it's, look, there's no this side or that side. And you know what? I'm starting to believe that myself, to be honest with you. I don't think there's a good side or a bad side. I mean, he believes Donald Trump is just as much of a stooge as Keir Starmer is to the World Economic Forum. I'm not so sure about that, but I don't know, to be honest with you, Jeff. A lot of things I like about Starmer. Yeah. But here's the thing. It's not about who you like. It's about, and this is where I did agree with Ike, and it's how the cards fall. Show us what's the evidence at the end of it. What is the end result? Never mind what people say. Never mind what people do. You think, oh, wait, what do you mean never mind what people do? No. What's the end result at the end of whatever term a person is in power? How do they leave a country at the end of it? And that's what we need to look at. As I said, there are things which I, personally, I don't know. I just don't know anymore. I don't know if Trump is a great guy. I think he probably is a great guy. But I could be wrong. I doubt everything. I don't even know if I'm a great guy anymore. I don't think I am. I got a real problem here, Jeff.
Yeah. Well, I know I'm not. That's it. I'm just an ordinary old guy.
Oh, you are. No, come on. No.
Anyway, we cannot let that Labour MP Emily Thornberry off the hook, can we?
Oh, right.
Because in response to, she said, across the world, the BBC is recognised as the best source of impartial news report. Oh, dear.
That was a genuine cough, ladies and gentlemen, I can assure you.
Oh, my days. I've read that before as well. Yeah. It's not perfect. Because nothing made by people ever is. Well, I can attest to that.
Well,
yes.
There's a line. Now, there's a line. Well, it's not perfect because nothing made by people ever is. I mean, is that going to be the epitaph of the Labour government? It wasn't perfect, but nothing made by man ever is. But we did our best. Oh, shut up! Oh dear.
However, in these days of deliberate lies, manipulation, and populism, it's a beacon of truth. Britain should be proud of it, and we are. That's Emily Thornberry for you in response to Donald Trump. So,
yeah, okay. I think I'll take my chance with Donald Trump. Thank you, Emily. I mean, you're the one who put down White Man Van, a man for having an English flag flying, and he owned a white van. Why is she? She's a totally inconsequential individual, to be honest with you. Oh my, that's a bit nasty. No, Emily, we love you. We all love you. We love our Labour government. They're such wonderful people. We love. Yeah. Do you know what, Jeff? I've had people and friends of mine. Oh, hang on, wait a sec. 2 seconds. We'll get onto this now. I've had friends of mine recently unfriend me on Facebook because they were Labour. Yeah, isn't that incredible? I thought, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can't help keep my open my gob. I can't help it.
No.
Yeah, wired up. Go on. Let's go.
Now, thank you, Matrix Meme. Very generous of you. At this point, I can't think of a single institution in this country that isn't infested and corrupt. We need a total root and branch clear out of them all. Keep up the good work, guys. And
thank you very much.
I just can't agree with you enough on this one.
Yeah.
We are being sold right down the woke river. But part of the problem is that most people have been too busy with their lives and work and all the rest of it, and their families, to keep a close eye on all these people that have gradually wheedled their way into councils, quangos, become MPs, and now suddenly today we're waking up to realise that there are so many people out there who don't even like the country that they're in. We do forget that a lot of these people actually, they've come to the country not to better our country, but to better their lives. That's it. They want to better their lives. But for some of them, not all of them, but for, well, I would say a lot of them, it means living the life they used to live where they were, but in a country that will let them live the life they want and get more money while doing it. And if it means we have to pay or get our society trashed in the process, they don't care. We should care, and we should stop it. So that is a big thing for me at the moment, I'm afraid.
Yeah, but it's such a valid point, though. I mean, our education system is completely infested with wokeness and corruption, as it's stated. Yeah, it really is. And this is destroying our children. I've seen this firsthand, and it's hideous what it can do. And it's so powerful because it appeals to the intellect. And you've got children at a very vulnerable point in their life. They leave home and they're going to university, and there they are, and they believe they are in front of people who are intellectually at the pinnacle of thought, we'll say, okay? Which they should be, incidentally. That's what they should be, but they're not. No, they're captured. And I mean, we do know that there were security agencies and spy networks infiltrating in the 1960s and 70s our education system and many other systems throughout government as well. And of course, that legacy has filtered down to everyone, really, who's left in the education system, and then to our children. And it's hideous. It's absolutely hideous. You go to university expecting your child to be safe and expecting them to learn and have a good career at the end of it. And many of them do have good careers at the end of it, but they're different, they're spoilt, they're changed. Because that woke ideology is toxic. It is toxic. It's not grounded in any genuine morality. It is the only thing it is grounded in is Marxism and in social justice narcissism. That's all there is. It's bloody horrific, Jeff.
Yeah, it's not grounded in what I would call just basic common sense. A lot of the time that they come out with these ideas, you're just screaming that doesn't make sense. It's not common sense. And most people find it very difficult to articulate what common sense is in any given situation. But they know it's wrong. They know this left ideology, this woke ideology. It's not even left. It's just wrong.
It isn't left.
They know it's wrong.
I agree.
They know
That's
it's
a very good
wrong.
point.
Yeah, they know it's wrong, and they know, they can feel it, that it's wrong. But some people can't articulate why it's wrong, but they know it's wrong. But because they can't articulate, when they vote, the government says, well, you don't know what you're on about, do you? We're going to ignore you. And that's exactly the wrong thing to do. But because the people with common sense are probably the ones with the right answers at the end of the day.
But the thing is, in Britain, this is a very good point.
Yeah.
Hang on, this is very important, this is, Jeff, right? Years ago, what we would describe as the left, all right, was mostly harmless, okay? It really was, and it still held British values, because leftism had been sort of assimilated itself into British culture and into British values. And, to the larger part, I would say. Obviously, you had the fringe. And the fringe now has come to the forefront. And that's the strange thing. The fringe, the lunatic fringe, the Corbynistas, they've all come to the forefront. But you had people like Michael Foot, who I don't think was a complete lunatic whatsoever. I thought he's quite an intelligent man. And Tony Benn, they're intelligent men. Did I agree with their politics? No. But at the same time, they had the intellectual capacity to debate and push forward and put forward what their vision of a Britain would be. And it would still work within the cultural framework. That was the irony. It still worked within the moral framework. That's the important bit, the moral framework. Because what we have to understand is societies are built upon moral frameworks. And what is the origin point of moral frameworks? Well, obviously Christianity for the West. That's it. Okay? But that also influenced Western thinking when it comes to the left. Now, in the age of the secularist age, post-1960s, that thinking is gone. It's gone. You don't have that grounding anymore. It's disappearing fast. It's now an anything goes, and a moral vacuum has been left. And look, there is a certain demographic which is now, with their belief system, which is now filling that gap and that moral vacuum. And that's why the left and that demographic are coming together. That's why they're coming together and protesting on the streets, because the left has actually got no moral grounding anymore. It doesn't know where to go. It's floating around because it's all crap.
Yeah, I cannot imagine Michael Foot or Tony Benn getting into bed in the same way with that preferred demographic, to be honest.
No.
But that's just my view.
No, I don't think so either.
Thank you, Yam's Physical Catalogue of Media. I loathe the MSM, never watch, but the best comedies come from the BBC years ago, and that's the big point.
Oh, yeah.
George and Mildred.
Oh.
The likely lads. Oh, the likely lads. Only Fools and Horses, Men Behaving Badly. Now, I've got to say that some of those, they just couldn't be made today.
No.
They'd have trigger warnings all over them. Trigger warning, you might actually laugh. Really laugh. That's the trigger warning.
Comedy isn't funny anymore. There's nothing funny out there. I mean, this is why Jeff and ourselves, good grief, I've gone plural. How did that happen? Bloody hell. I want to go see the doctor. I want to see the doctor about that one. Yes, this is why Jeff and myself, singular, this is why we find ourselves, just having a bit of a laugh on very serious matters as well. Because laughter's gone. The humour's gone out of everything. The joy has gone. I mean, you think back. I know this is really sad, but sometimes on YouTube you come across these adverts for Christmas time from 1982. Oh, they're brilliant. It just takes you back, and you're like, I remember that world.
Yeah.
I remember what that was like. When I was a little kid, I think, And now Christmas is like, at last, John Lewis has had a bit of a turnaround. Anyway, I haven't actually watched the new John Lewis advert because I know I'll end up in tears. And I'm not going to bloody well be doing that deliberately anymore. No.
Yeah. And thank you, Gary Tremaine. So Dopey Ed thinks it's okay for the BBC to attack US democracy. I hope Trump owns the BBC afterwards. Now that would be a good outcome, wouldn't it? The BBC being run by Donald Trump and deciding what goes on there. Yeah, that would be. Oh, and that brings me on to, now where is it? It's it's Kirsty Allsop. This is her response to Donald Trump. The White House is now telling us which news we should watch. Think about that for a bit. So she was replying to that very long social post that Donald Trump put out, and her response is right at the top. But the thing about that is, he's not telling us which news to watch. He's just telling us that the BBC is completely full of misinformation. So why would we want to watch it? Unless, of course, you feed on that misinformation to feed out to other people to try and get them to follow a certain narrative or a certain policy. And that's the wrong thing to do.
Yeah, I won't listen to Kirsty
Allsop. Because it all falls
Allsop
apart in the end.
I'm not listening to Kirsty Allsop. I remember years ago how we actually met was about when we were blogging and talking about house prices. Good grief. How long ago was that? What was that? 2007, 2007, 2008.
Years ago, yeah.
And and it was at a time when we could see a house price crash coming, and it did. We were right once, Jeff. Remember that? And
once. Yeah. It was a house price slide of a crash. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it depends where you were. Some places really did crash for a period.
Yeah.
But the thing was, we used to, at that time, I remember Kirsty also trying to sell this dream of home ownership, and there was this mad frenzy where house prices just inflated. I thought, this can't go on forever. These things are becoming unaffordable. So, yeah, I think, Kirsty, I mean, bless her, she was just her job, really, to just, and she was good at it. Fair play. She got Brits buying houses, and not a good thing though, really. There we go.
Yeah. Yes, and as John Dingle says, as for Thornbury, she is a typical commie. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Well, whatchamacallit?
Yes.
What's her name? Rachel Reeves. She's got behind her. Is it a photo of in her office? A photo of the woman who started the British Communist Party up, I think it was, or something
Yeah.
like that. Or
Yeah.
well, that should
They're
tell
all
you
commies.
something.
All
Yeah, they are.
Fabians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fabians,
Yeah.
commies.
Yeah.
Demonic is what.
And
it
thank you.
bloody is.
Yeah, demonic. Woody7532, thank you. A Trump truth virus injected into the establishment. I'm off to get my popcorn for this show. Yep, I think it could turn out like that. Although the BBC might be negotiating right now what are the terms of the apology and how
their surrender,
and how can we limit it? How can we surrender without looking like we've surrendered? Please give us an off-ramp, they'll say. Please, Donald, give us an off-ramp.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
Yes, they will be doing exactly that right now. There will be
And,
negotiations going on in the back room, and yeah. Oh. I mean, what they
And
did
John
when you
Dingle,
really
thank
think
you.
about it. It
Yeah.
was, it was election interference. Granted, there was a bit of space between the elections. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. That's totally irrelevant.
No, it doesn't.
The fact of the matter is they were trying to get rid of a political threat in America for ideological reasons. Allegedly. Allegedly, if that's what the edit was about. I mean, it could have been harmless, and it could have been just a little bit of a slip of the edit button. We all do it, Jeff. We all do it.
Yeah. Thank you again, John Dingle. According to Promethean Updates channel, more to fall out of the BBC saga to come from Trump, and it could be quite juicy. Right, I'll have to look into that. I hadn't really cottoned on there. Maybe more to this. But if there is, then that would be really good. Yes.
Yeah, well, the BBC needs to collapse. I still believe we need believe it or not, a BBC, but not one run by these woke idiots. Let's have a proper Christian-centered BBC. As a kid, I used to loathe and despise songs of praise. It used to bore the daylights out of me. But we should have it brought back. Now I'm really thinking, if it's still going even. But that should be front and center. That should, but not necessarily focusing on the woke Church of England. Let's get rid of that.
No.
That's let's have a. I mean, my personal preference is with the Orthodox faith, so we could have an Orthodox songs of praise and that. If you haven't heard Orthodox chant, you are missing something. Believe me.
Yeah.
You really are. There's no musical instruments. It's all a cappella. It's beautiful.
Yeah. And so just catching up. Yeah, this is this one from John Dingle as well. We used to have the two Ronnies. Now we have the two commies and two Dear Justice. Well, there you go.
You're not wrong.
And John Dingle again. Rachel Reeves is the one with the red Ellen portrait. Yes, red Ellen portrait.
Yes, that's it. Red Ellen. Yes.
Yes. There you go. Now,
hang on,
you may have
on.
missed...
Joined.
Sorry, go on.
Joined 3036. Doctor Who was one. Yeah, I worked on with the one with Jodie on. Jodie was lovely, actually. The actress who played the Doctor. Actually, a lot of the cast were all right. I worked with that guy from the he's on The Chase. What's his name? He was great. He was a good lot. I can't remember his name now. He did a nice little video for me, actually. God bless him. His name's gone. If you can tell me in the comments who it is. Anyway, he was lovely, but I just didn't fit in with the crew. We'll say it was
Yes.
whatever.
Yeah, there you go. We get on all right, though. Now and again,
don't.
you know what I mean?
No, the thing is with Jeff and myself, we argue and sometimes we've actually said the other day, let's allow our disagreements and arguments to spill over into the live streams. Let's be real.
Yeah.
What I watched earlier about Jordan Peterson. He was talking about marriage. He said your perfect marriage is not the one where there's just no arguing and no debating. It's the one where the husband and wife challenge each other because they have enough respect for each other to be able to do that. And it's the same with Jeff and myself, Not that we're married, of course, but that
I think your wife would have something to say about that.
I think she would, indeed. You're not watching, you darling? Oh, she is,
Yes.
yeah. Anyway, and my in-laws are watching, so there we go. Now, listen, now the thing is, the thing is, though, Jeff, that we like things to spill over, and having heated debates is good. We don't have enough heated debates. Everyone's always trying to be so nice. This is why Jeff and myself, we don't get asked on too many programs, like GB News or whatever. They never ask us. Never ask us on Talk TV.
Never.
It's like Ben Habib and Tommy and the rest of them. They're complaining they don't get and Rupert. No, they don't get asked on GB News anymore. We never have been. We're too
Richard,
we're too real for it.
Don't put thoughts in people's heads. The last thing I want to be doing is appearing on one of those. I'd much prefer just to sit here and do my own little thing. Thank you very much. But there you go.
Oh, it'd be good fun, though.
Oh, I don't know. Anyway, here's something more about BBC misinformation. Now, this is debatable, and I will just put it out there. Andrew Bridgen tweeted it out today, I think it was today, about this whole sort of saga, when he said, the BBC's finest hour, reporting on the collapse of Building 7 20 minutes before it actually did on the 9th of the 11th. The BBC must have been, it's the 11th of the 9th, actually, from our point of view. The BBC must have been psychic or in on the plan and the con. You decide which and tell me in the comments, please. Now, what he's on about is this particular video, which was put out, and there are a lot of people. This raises all sorts of people saying, "Oh, it's all a big lie," blah blah blah. But I'll just let you watch it and make your own mind up.
11th, there was worldwide live television coverage, and the coverage continued throughout the day. The interesting thing is that at 10 p.m. London time, which is 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, they reported that the Salomon Brothers building, Building 7, had collapsed. The only problem is Building 7 didn't collapse until 5:20 p.m. New York time.
Now, more on the latest building collapse in New York. You might have heard a few moments ago, I was talking about the Salomon Brothers building collapsing. And indeed it has. Apparently that's only a few hundred yards away from where the World Trade Center towers were. And it seems that this was not a result of a new attack. It was because the building had been weakened during this morning's attacks. We'll probably find out more now about that from our correspondent, Jane Stanley. Jane, what more can you tell us about the Salomon Brothers building and its collapse?
Well, only really what you already know. Details are very, very sketchy. There's almost a sense downtown in New York behind me, down by the World Trade Centers, of just an area completely closed off as the rescue workers try to do their job. As you can see behind me, the Trade Center...
Building 7 is clearly visible right behind the reporter. It wasn't until 5:20 Eastern Time that it came down.
Now, there's been a lot of debate about that and how it actually happened. Either the BBC are time travellers or can see into the future or in on some sort of news agenda which wasn't actually quite followed to plan. Or it could just be that she was in front of an actual green screen with a projection being put up there from, a time delayed thing. I don't know. But that's been put forward as a misinformation by the BBC. So it's been around for quite a long time. I'm not going to defend that one, but there you go.
Make of it what you will, ladies and gentlemen. Make of it what you will.
And John Dingle, thank you again. Gregorian chants are quite good to listen to.
Oh,
too.
Yeah.
I love a bit of the Gregorian chant. It's all very good stuff, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe you guys pay a TV tax. Well, yeah, some people do, some people don't. It's up to them, really, isn't it? That's the problem. It's the very problem, though, is that we're required to in the first place. And at one stage, it was a case of if you haven't got one, people thought they could barge into your house and charge you a fine. We're now finding out they've got no right to do that at all, as far as I can make out. But check that out with your legal advisor before you do that. Yeah,
absolutely.
Now, I will also point out, let me see if I've got this right. Yeah, Patrick Christys also took a pop at someone as well. Someone else took a pop and Patrick Christys joined in. Harriet Sargent said, I made a programme on homelessness for Radio 4. 2 teens in care told me they couldn't get a hostel bed. Too many migrants. 1 in 3 rough sleepers are migrants. My BBC editor warned, you'll never get work here again if you talk about immigration. I insisted, never did work there again. And Patrick Christys says, I expect a lot of more stories like this to emerge in the coming days.
Yeah.
I expect they will. I mean, a lot of people are put off. They don't want to criticise someone they might end up relying on for their work, and that's an age-old thing. So, very...
I could say a lot on this. There was a lot of... I remember the fear working in, within the BBC of what you said, how you said it, who you said it to. It's like, if you say... It was like... It was like being back in school, like one of the kids, I'm going to go and tell teacher. I'm going to tell teacher what you said. I'm going to tell teacher. They do it like, whoa, don't say that. Well, I'm going to go and tell production. I'm going to go and tell production. I thought, okay. All right, yeah. So you didn't don't agree with me on certain obvious facts about chromosomes. Okay.
Yeah. Now, we'll just move on slightly and we'll just go on to Mr. Lammy. Do you remember Mr. Lammy? Yes. Robert Jenrick has taken a pop at Mr. Lammy. And what he said is, these are the questions I will ask David Lammy in Parliament tomorrow. If he refuses to answer them, he must resign. I don't think he could answer a question on anything. I hope it's not mastermind questions that he's going to be answering or asking him, because that wouldn't be fair, would it? Really. Anyway, he sent a letter out, and these are the what he's talking about, which I should be able to read, but I can't because it's not big enough. It was big enough on my other screen, but this one isn't. Right, here we go. Dear David, Hadush Kabata, Brahim Kador Sharif, William Smith. These criminals accidentally released from prison under your watch are just the tip of the iceberg. The number of violent criminals mistakenly released from prison has increased 9-fold in the last year, but we still don't have the full picture. The British people deserve to know the truth about the scale of the security crisis in our prisons. I have written to you, submitted parliamentary questions, and asked you in the House of Commons. You have failed to give any answers. Now, not answering written parliamentary questions, I believe, is quite serious, but that's between the Speaker and the House. Tomorrow in Parliament, I will once again ask basic questions that any competent Lord Chancellor would know the answers to. 1. How many prisoners have been accidentally released since the 1st of April 2025? 2. How many prisoners accidentally released are still at large? 3. Who has been accidentally released and how many are violent or sexual offenders? Now, I would have added a fourth. I'd have said, and who has been accidentally releasing these prisoners? Because it does seem a lot of prisoners have been accidentally
Jeff, it's rubbish.
released.
Do you know, I just don't buy any of it. I'm serious, Jeff. I don't buy any of this anymore, okay? I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, do you know what? It's been bugging me all day. Yeah, what Ike said was right. It was. This is all just theatre. It's all bread and circuses, games, wheels within wheels, and, which is a phrase I've used a lot myself quite recently. And I think, there is no left and right. There's no opposition. There is just the party, the continuation, the continuum, I should say. That's all there is. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, I get you.
I think
do
I
get
think
you,
there's
yeah.
I think there's something behind this, and
Yeah.
I'm looking at this politically. And I'm thinking, yes, I support Advance. Hopefully, they can change things in terms of putting pressure if there's an immediate election. Put pressure on reform, but
Yeah.
in a few years' time, hopefully they'll make it through. But I just hope that, yeah. I hope that there's no knocks on the door for Ben Habib, because that's what these
Yeah.
buggers do.
Yes, they
They
do.
they blackmail you. I've seen politicians change. I'm not saying Ben Habib
Yeah.
would, but I have seen
No.
politicians change what they believe in quite fundamentally, and you think, what happened? Did you ever knock on the door? Did somebody speak to you? Did you get bought off or paid off? And that's why I don't trust any of the political system, to be honest with you. And I think what's going to unfold is going to unfold, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Carol Georgina 6114 says, "I'd love to be a fly on the wall in Parliament, but knowing my luck, I'd get swatted." Yeah, that's probably about right for most of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, it really is quite a really weird. Well, no, it's not weird. I suppose it's predictable. Things are going so badly wrong. But I just want to show you this last little snippet, which has got people wondering what this guy is talking about taking over. So I'll just play it for you and see what you think.
These events, these activities, this unity must grow and continue and take over not just parts of Birmingham, but the whole of Birmingham, the whole of the West Midlands, the whole of the UK. Grassroots democracy in action. And we, our communities, have shown the establishment and the rest of the country that we will not be taken for granted and we will win.
Oh, I say.
The establishment know that if you let one person stand up to them and speak the truth to people about what power is doing to them, then more people will stand up, and there will come a point when we all stand up against oppression, against injustice, and against corruption in politics. You see the power of solidarity. You see the power of solidarity, the power of all of us together. Individually, we may feel helpless, lonely, often frightened. Together, nothing can stop us. No tyrant can rule us. No party, government, or dictator can demand from us subservience. Together, we are powerful. Remember that and take that message onto the streets of Birmingham and share it with every single person you know in this country and abroad.
Why abroad? What's abroad got to do with all this? Anyway, yeah.
I don't
mean,
know.
Who knows what they were talking about? Because, I mean, taking over, as you said, they could have been taking over the WRVS. They could have been taking, maybe taking over Greg's. Maybe there's going to be a buyout. I don't know. A share, yeah, maybe, or maybe it was something else, a bit more sinister. But we just don't know. At the end of the day, we can't really speculate, can we? No.
No, not.
But nothing to worry
speculate
about.
on that.
But nothing to worry about. Just, ladies and gentlemen, don't worry. It's not like they were going to take over the country, literally. It's not like that's their plan. No.
No. Now, The Times is reporting that 2 young lads, aged 17 and 16, have been arrested in separate Southport copycat cases. They, of course, cannot be named because of their ages. But I'm now nearing the view myself that maybe the names should be coming out, because big boy crimes means big boy rules, maybe. And get this, preparing attacks on school children and acts of misogyny are not considered terrorist attacks, so these are lesser offences. Now, the 17-year-old from Quimbran, South Wales,
Cumbran.
alleged to have
Cumbran, yeah.
discussed Cumbran. All right. Just because
Get
you're
it
from
right. Come on.
Wales,
Yeah, get it right.
is alleged to have discussed Ruda Cabana and looked into getting hold of large knives. And it is reported he had a phone note of places to attack and images of a dance class close to his home. While the 16-year-old from Merseyside, have I pronounced that one right, allegedly planned an attack on a Taylor Swift dance class while wearing a Ruda Cabana-style green hoodie. And prosecutors said he travelled to Southport, collected knives, and had downloaded the same Al-Qaeda manual that Ruda Cabana had. This is sickening. And decades of governments and politicians have this on their hands. They have been too loose and fancy-free with our safety and our security. Things have to change. And it's no good blaming us. We're not to blame. It is the government at the end of the day, as far as I'm concerned. What do you say, Richard?
Well, we don't know. I mean, we just don't know any of this. And it's good and right and proper that the authorities are on top of this. Thank goodness we can trust them to contain all these sorts of things. Yeah, I mean, well, they clearly have in this instance, but it makes you wonder how many more are out there? How many more? And never mind youngsters. How many more are these things? I mean, we've got, what was it, 40,000 people on a terrorist watch list at the moment? I bet you and I are on that terrorist watch list, incidentally, Jeff. That's the irony. I'm not joking. I think we probably are.
We are at the top.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, I'm sure we're put down as far-right hate mongers, agitators of civil war, etc. When, you know, it's just like you can't even just point out and say, look, there's a train coming down the track heading towards us. Oh, far right, they saw a train. Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, don't let it worry you too much.
No, don't.
It is just a small amount happening at the moment. Yeah. I'm wondering, you know, you read something like that and you think, oh, my little girl's going to a dance class, you know, you get worried, don't you? You really do. This is how this sort of thing works. It's a gentle erosion of our freedoms that we had many, many years ago.
Yeah, but
And
as you said, Jeff,
worry
people live in fear. People right now are living in absolute fear. When you speak like that, I also myself, you know, it just reminds me of the fears that we all have for our children. All of them, you know.
Yeah,
you think,
yeah.
what could happen to them?
Yeah, but
what
how
would your-
long,
what-
Richard?
what-
How long?
Yeah, what would your
will it
reaction be?
Yeah, how long will it be before we have enforced children staying at home? Where taking a child out to the park is actually illegal just in case they get harmed. This is where we're going. You think that an idea like that is nuts? People are already, I mean, how many, this just beggars belief. When you and I both know, and there's lots of people out there who will know, when they were kids, they could ride their bikes, they could go to the park. No one worried about these things. And yes, all right, there were cases of child abduction and that going back to the 60s and before, but they just weren't at this level. The fear and the threat wasn't at this level. It is now going through the roof. But there you go.
Well, we remember the people from the 1960s who committed these horrific crimes. You know, Ian Brady and Myra Hindley. You know, those are names you can remember.
Yeah.
Because they stood out. Now that there are, when you look, because when we talk about the groomers, okay, don't forget, children died during that. There were children lost their lives. A lot of children lost their lives. But we don't talk about that so much. We just talk about the other hideous thing that happened to them. We don't talk about that. And that tells you a lot about this society.
Oh, it does.
At some point, though, the
Murder.
thing is, though, Jeff, I've got to say, I keep watching stuff on, you know, that people have had enough. And I think, yes, the people have had enough. At some point, something's going to give and something's going, and I do unfortunately believe they will snap. But also, unfortunately, I believe that it almost feels like this is orchestrated. This is the plan. The establishment want this. They want the whole thing to break down so they can then introduce the digital IDs and the new laws upon us. And so if things do break down, you better hope that there's somebody else who is not going to introduce those things to pick up the pieces. But I have a funny feeling it'll be Mr. Fix-It-All who will come along.
Yeah.
And I don't mean Jimmy. Yeah.
No, I know who you mean.
No,
Yeah.
Mr. Fix-It will come and sort it all out. Don't you worry about that. And people will cry out for him. That's the worrying thing.
Yeah. Now, Happy Bunny points out that the young lady in Birmingham who was stabbed in the neck on Friday has died. This is getting out of
Dreadful
control.
it was. Yeah.
And that was, they call it an unprovoked attack. Just someone decided, I'm going to do this. What the actual F? And the how long do you think that guy is going to stay inside?
Yeah.
I just give up with what's going on.
I have no
know-
respect for authority anymore. I don't have respect for any of it. The system. I have no respect. I have no moral obligation to comply. I do it. I will continue to comply on many things. But my moral obligation to do so has gone. It is completely vanished. When the system itself allows evil to walk our streets, evil, encourages evil to come here, pays for evil to sit in hotel rooms waiting. Now, incidentally, this lady, what happened to her? I don't believe it was from one of the hotel occupied, somebody who occupied the hotel. And this man has been arrested. I don't believe that and he's the alleged perpetrator, and we can't say any more on it. But just for me, that the horror is, it is reminiscent of what has become indicative within British society. And that is our, lackadaisy approach to law and order towards knife crime. We need about 10 times the amount of police out there, all of them 6'2", 6'3", jiu-jitsu experts and Krav Maga experts, who are not woke, who will stop whoever they like and whoever they don't like, whoever doesn't like being stopped. Oh, what a shame. What a pity. Yes, they will be searched there and then. Whatever they have on them, if it is illegal, then they face the full force of the law. Potentially, if you're carrying a knife around, today, you probably, unless you have a good reason, if you're camping or whatever, but, if you're carrying a knife around the streets, you should, that's it. It should be an automatic 7-year sentence. End of, period.
Yeah.
That's
Someone
my
was
opinion.
asking where we'd heard about this. Well, it's on Sky. It says a woman has died after being stabbed in the neck in Birmingham city centre on Friday night. The 34-year-old, who has been named as Katie Fox, was taken to hospital after being stabbed on Smallbrook, Queensway, shortly before 9 p.m, but has since died, West Midlands police have said. Jason Raphael, 21, appeared at Birmingham Magistrates Court on Monday morning accused of murdering her.
I'm not sure if that name is Portuguese or Brazilian. I might be wrong on that. I might be completely
Yeah.
wrong. So one of the comments here by Muttley 1423. How old was she? 19. No, I'm afraid to say that was another girl who was killed in the past week, I believe, in a knife attack. That was somebody else, that was.
Yeah, this is the whole problem, isn't it? It's it's just surrounding us now. And I tell you what really sort of should concern people is the number of people who are carrying knives right now. We have a knife epidemic. We have a knife problem in this country.
We never used to. We never used to, though. That's the point. What has changed? What has changed? I mean, maybe... let's play devil's advocate here for a second. Maybe it isn't all down to immigration. Maybe it's not that. Maybe it's not the... All right, let's... if it's not... Is it the influence of other cultures? If it's not immigration, other cultures upon the British and the Western cultures that are causing this. Let's take that into consideration. And if so, Why? Why is that? Why, how can that happen? Yes, of course, we completely let go of Christianity. We walked away from it. The West walked away from Jesus in the 1960s, flower power, and, sitting around getting faced, and dropping certain things to expand the consciousness. It then sort of came up with all this. I've got to say the music improved for a brief period of time, but the culture behind it didn't. It left a vacuum.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we've depressed everybody enough, Richard.
Yeah, I'm
and
depressed
I want to
now.
just say, please be happy. Please be happy.
No, don't.
And yeah, because at the end of the day, every day you wake up is another good day. So,
There is that.
And,
it's another day we can change things.
Yeah, and we've got to go out and try and change things. It's very important. And a lot of people, I've got to say this, please, people, if you are able to, stand in the next council elections, even if you stand as an independent, or find a party that you align with and join them and see if you can stand. Or if there's a candidate there, support them. Really support them so they get voted in. The people that you want in. This is what the woke and a certain demographic have done so successfully. While we've been sat watching Strictly Come Slobbing or whatever it is we watch, they've been out campaigning. They've been out delivering leaflets. And that's the difference. If we don't get back and take control of our politics, our own politics, we will lose. And it's no good saying, "Oh, we'll have a revolution." Then that's the worst of all worlds. We've got to take back control
Jeff,
of that, and we can't. Don't leave it to other people, please.
Jeff, a few comments coming in here. People saying about Poland, moving to Poland. Tommy's out there right now, and Paul Thorpe and a few of the others. And Middleton's out there, and Danny Salmon's over there. Good old Danny, and quite a few others, and Don Keith. But I look at Poland, and do you know what really winds me up, actually? Something that Farage used to say. He used to scare... The one thing Farage got badly wrong, so he used to scaremonger about the Poles coming over here. Let me ask you a question. Who would you rather have here today? A Polish person, okay, which incidentally, my wife is part Polish. Would you rather have a Polish person living here right now with their values, their Christian values, and their patriotism, or somebody from a different demographic? Well, I know the answer to that. And in fact, I would even go further to say I would rather have Poles, true patriotic Christian Poles in Britain, right, than the wokey-cokey liberal lefties, homegrown ones. Thank you very much. I'd rather them.
Yeah, well, the thing is that a lot of people say they came over in the Second World War and they came over here to learn to fight and to help us fight for their country. A lot of them went back and a lot of them stayed, but they actually fought. They came here to learn to fight. All that we've got at the moment are people coming here just to take what they can.
We'd have to send our troops now. We'd have to send our troops to Poland to learn to fight now. That's the irony.
Yeah.
Our troops would sort of turn up there and, no, I'm not going to say it because I'd be done for being prejudicial against, let's just say that the colour of the tanks might be a bit bright. And the uniforms would be a bit brighter than normal. Yeah.
Yes, anyway.
Yes.
On that note, I'm going to say, Richard, do as you normally do and tell people what to do now.
Now then, here's the thing. Oh, hang on. Just as I said that, we've got gifted 10 Jeff Taylor memberships. Well done, that man, Muttley. Well done.
Oh,
I don't
well
know
done.
Don't know what gifted 10 memberships means. We haven't looked into that, but whatever. Thank you, Muttley, and welcome on board. Yeah. And here's the thing. We could take, believe it or not, Jeff and I have had this conversation a few times. If everybody watching this right now, even at this point, or rather throughout the life of this live stream, if everybody watching this became a channel member, the things that Jeff and I would be able to do in terms of, we'd be
Yeah.
able to employ somebody, well, not in full time, but, get somebody to do some filming of us out and about instead of it being Jeff and myself with our limited abilities with technology. Jeff's limited ability with technology. And, we could be filmed out and about and have good professional edited, things done and go meeting people all over the country. And not just doing live streams, but doing documentaries as well. And that's something we would love to do. And there's so many opportunities that would be made available if you guys could become channel members. It's we occasionally, Jeff, at least once a week, we'll put up something extra bit of content. It's crap, but I got you. No, I mean, you also get occasional after hours live streams as well. And thank you, another new member. Thank you. That means the world to us. This is
Thank
this
you.
is what we need. If people can do it, I know. Look, it's the cost of per month of a price of a pint of beer in a London pub, or even a coffee in some London pubs, or cafes,
Yes.
etc. In fact,
I
London.
go to London a lot, and it is expensive. I can assure you.
Yeah. Well, these are the costs which this channel incurs, but. If we can get there. So if you can become a channel member, it would help us an awful lot. Or if you support us via Patreon and PayPal, the links in the description box below. Great, thank you. I hate doing all this. It feels like we're begging.
And
But we want to move the channel forward. We want this to work. We want to give you a better.
And if we do get enough money, I could replace Richard, couldn't I?
Oh, I could replace Jeff. Yes. Don't give me ideas there. But also subscribe to the channel.
Brilliant.
Click the like button and click the all option if you subscribe. Okay, right. And we got another person.
And we got another one. A Fenner, thank you very much. I rather done to you too than any of model. Right.
Well, that sounds about right to me there. Fenner. I agree, whatever that is. I totally, 100%, and that's right. Yeah.
Yes, and on that note, I'm going to say it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from him. Goodbye from Mr. Jeff Taylor. Goodbye.